The history of Brazil is a tapestry woven with threads of resilience, conflict, and transformation, stretching back at least 12,000 years. Imagine the land before any European foot touched its soil. A vast expanse populated by diverse indigenous groups, each with their own rich cultures and traditions. From the hunters and gatherers to the agricultural societies, these early inhabitants laid the foundations of what would become a complex societal structure. One can almost hear the echoes of their lives in places like Serra da Capivara, where ancient art still whispers stories of survival and adaptation. Fast forward to 1500, when the Portuguese, led by Pedro Álvares Cabral, stumbled upon this land, initially believing they had discovered an unclaimed paradise. But this encounter marked the beginning of a tumultuous colonial era that would forever alter the lives of indigenous peoples, Africans, and Europeans alike. The term colonial doesn't just describe a period, it encapsulates a profound transformation, a time when the land became a colony of Portugal and its resources were siphoned off to enrich a distant crown. As the Portuguese established their foothold, they sought to exploit the land's natural wealth. The first treasure they found? Brazilwood, which gave the country its name. But soon, the sugarcane plantations became the lifeblood of the economy, and with them came the grim reality of slavery. The indigenous population was decimated, and Africans were forcibly brought to work the fields, creating a system of exploitation that would have lasting repercussions. The slave trade became a dark chapter, as millions were uprooted from their homes, their cultures suppressed, yet they also brought with them resilience and new agricultural practices that would shape Brazil's identity. The colonial period, spanning from 1500 to 1822, was characterized by a struggle for power and control. The Portuguese implemented the system of captaincies, granting vast lands to individuals in hopes of stimulating settlement. However, this plan faltered, leading to the establishment of a centralized government in Salvador. The colonial administration faced challenges from other European powers, notably the Dutch, who occupied parts of the northeast, testing the limits of Portuguese authority. The discovery of gold in Minas Gerais in the 18th century shifted the focus of the colony. The capital moved to Rio de Janeiro, a strategic choice to oversee the extraction and export of precious metals. But with wealth came unrest. The Inconfidencia Mineira of 1789, a movement fueled by discontent over heavy taxation, sought independence. Though it was quashed, it planted seeds of revolutionary thought that would grow in the coming decades. Then came the pivotal year of 1808, when the Portuguese royal family fled to Brazil to escape Napoleon's advances. This marked a turning point, as Brazil was elevated to the status of a kingdom, and institutions began to flourish. The stage was set for independence, which was declared in 1822 under the leadership of Dom Pedro I. The transition from colony to empire was tumultuous, with political strife and revolts marking the early years of the new nation. As we move into the imperial period from 1822 to 1889, Brazil experienced both growth and turmoil. Dom Pedro I's reign was marked by challenges, including conflicts over territory and governance. After his abdication, Brazil was ruled by regents until Dom Pedro II ascended to the throne at a young age. His reign saw the expansion of coffee cultivation, which became the backbone of Brazil's economy, but also the rise of abolitionist sentiments. The pressure for emancipation culminated in the gradual abolition of slavery, a process fraught with political battles and social upheaval. The late 19th century brought about significant change. In 1889, amidst growing discontent with the monarchy, Brazil transitioned to a republic following a military coup. The early years of the republic were chaotic, marked by regional conflicts and power struggles among the elite. The struggles of the common people came to the forefront during this time, leading to uprisings like the War of Canudos and the Contestado War, which highlighted the deep social divides in Brazilian society. The Vargas era, from 1930 to 1945, was a transformative period, with Getúlio Vargas consolidating power and instituting reforms aimed at modernizing the economy and addressing social issues. His government saw the rise of labor rights and industrialization, changing the landscape of Brazilian society. However, the pendulum swung again, and after a brief period of democracy post-World War II, Brazil fell into a military dictatorship from 1964 to 1985. This era was marked by repression, censorship, and the silencing of dissent, yet it also sowed the seeds of resistance. The return to democracy in 1985 was a hard-won victory, but the challenges remained. The subsequent years were characterized by economic instability and political corruption, culminating in the impeachment of President Collor de Mello in 1982. The establishment of the Real Plan under Itamar Franco brought some economic stabilization, yet inequality persisted. The election of Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in 2002 marked a significant shift as a working-class leader rose to power, promising to address poverty and inequality. His presidency saw notable social programs that lifted millions out of poverty, but it was also marred by corruption scandals that would haunt his successors, including Dilma Rousseff, who faced her own impeachment in 2016. Today, Brazil stands at a crossroads, grappling with its complex legacy of colonialism, slavery, and social inequality. The journey continues as the nation seeks to reconcile its past with the aspirations of its diverse population. The story of Brazil is not just a narrative of triumphs and failures. It is a reflection of the human spirit's resilience in the face of adversity, a testament to the ongoing struggle for justice, equality, and identity in a land rich with history and promise.